G'day cunts, welcome to LewReview. Today we're looking at the new Ghostbusters. Not just the film, but also the internet's reaction to everything surrounding this massive shitstorm. But before we begin, if you're watching this video and you have short coloured hair, a nose ring, a blog, and unshaven armpits, I'm gonna save both of us a little bit of time here, and I'm gonna apologize for this video now. So, you don't have to write a blog about it calling me a sexist, and I don't have to pretend to give a fuck. So I'll just start off with the apology and then we'll get into the review. I, Lewis Spears, apologise for my sexist review of the Ghostbusters film and for being a male. The only reason I didn't like this film is because there are women in it and that threatened me. Also, I'm straight, so sorry about homophobia, and I'm white, so sorry about that whole, slavery thing. Anyway, I gotta go because I'm late to the monthly patriarchy meeting. The wage gap isn't gonna widen itself. Also, I almost forgot. You know how Stephen Hawking says there's like an infinite number of universes? Well, guess what, nerd? There's also an infinite number of genders. So stick that in your wheelchair. When the Ghostbusters reboot was announced, I got really excited, right? I didn't grow up with the original Ghostbusters films. I'm pretty sure I've only seen the first one, so I'm not looking at this movie through nostalgia goggles, right? I think it's a fairly balanced review I'm about to give you guys. I was really excited because the concept of 4 comedic actors sucking up ghosts, no matter the gender, is a really cool idea, and I was really pumped to see that idea remade with today's technology. But then I heard that every lead character was a woman, and one of them was black. And I didn't give a fuck, to be honest. I've seen a whole bunch of movies recently with lead roles that were women that I've really liked, like these ones. And to be honest, the costumes on the Ghostbusters look really good, so I was still excited for this movie. But then the trailer dropped, and that's when I realized this was not going to be a good film. This was not a reboot done for the love of it and with respect for the original films. This was just another Hollywood remake, pumping it out so they can make quick bucks because the name of the franchise is known. And obviously I wasn't the only person who thought this, because the trailer became the most disliked movie trailer on YouTube of all time. And what's the best way to avoid legitimate criticism? Make it about gender. Almost as soon as Ghostbusters broke the dislike record of all time, Sony started pushing this narrative that the reason we didn't like the film was because we were sexist and women were playing the lead roles, which is just not true at all. If there was really a global conspiracy against female lead roles, how the fuck did Hunger Games make over $1 billion?
And now, a dramatic recreation of every reasonable person's reaction to the new Ghostbusters trailer.
Dude, stop it.
Look at me, I'm a fucking idiot.
Dude, you're acting like an idiot. Stop it.
No, I'm not being an idiot, bro. You're just saying that because I've got a dick and that intimidates you. You're a sexist.
No, bro, I have a dick and I'm telling you, you're acting like an idiot. Even the director came out and started calling critics of his bad film misogynist and started to make fun of them. And do you want to know what happens when you make fun of your core audience? They don't see your fucking shit movie. All over the world, people were posting photos in empty theaters on opening weekend because they were the only people who bought tickets to see Ghostbusters. Hell, I even saw it at a drive-in cinema, prime time on the weekend, 7:30 p.m, and we were the only car there. As for the movie itself, I'm going to start off with all the positive things about it. I thought the CG was really good. A lot of people disagree, but I liked it. The costumes and the car were fucking perfect. The 4 women actors played their roles really, really well. They did their best with the horrible script that they were given. And there was one funny joke about the mayor from Jaws that made me laugh. Just one. Unfortunately, none of these things could make up for the terrible script, the awful pacing, and the fact that every male character in the film was either a fucking moron or really one-dimensional. I think the only good male character was the mayor, and he was in there for like 3 scenes. And the jokes were just really forced. Like about 10 minutes into the film, there was this really fucking weird queef joke that just didn't fit. Like, as a stand-up comedian, I'm all for queef jokes, you know? If you got a good joke about queefs, just let it out there like the best queef ever. But this one just felt really forced, like the writers were going, oh, there are women in a film, women queef, so let's just shove this in there and girls will laugh. And no one fucking laughed, it was just bad. Instead of respecting the original films and maybe having a passing of the torch to the new team, they just pretended like those films never happened. Nobody in this world had ever seen a ghost before. Bill Murray shows up, but he's playing a skeptic that doesn't believe in ghosts, and about halfway through they end up killing him. Sorry, I probably should have said spoiler warning it. Who am I kidding? None of you guys are gonna fucking see it. Kristen Wiig's character was boring, Melissa McCarthy's was really annoying, Kate McKinnon's character I actually really liked, but Leslie Jones's character was really loud and annoying and came off as kind of racist. Like she was, I get what they were doing, they're trying to do the loud, sassy black woman stereotype, but every time she said something, she would yell it, and so often, none of the other characters would react to what she was saying. It was like she was just a placeholder to just yell shit in Ebonics, and everybody would just ignore her, and it felt like she wasn't a necessary part of the team at all. Now I'm going to talk about the male characters. Chris Hemsworth played the movie's love interest, and while it was cool for me to hear an Australian accent in a big budget American film, his character was so dumb that whenever he stepped into a scene, it felt like the movie got downgraded to a cartoon for children. I'll give you an example. Bill Murray dies by being thrown out of a window, and then Chris Hemsworth comes into the room and goes, "Oh, he went out the wrong door." That's not a joke, that's going full retard.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
And the main villain was really fucking boring. It was hard to understand why he was doing what he was doing. I think they were trying to make him like a men's rights activist. I don't know, the whole thing came off like a bad YouTube comment, and to be honest, he sounded more like a school shooter than anything. To conclude, guys, I feel sorry for the actors in this movie. As the faces of Ghostbusters, they're copping the brunt of the criticism, but they all did a really good job saying the words they were told to say. Unfortunately, the words they were told to say fucking suck. There is nothing that no actor could have done to improve this film. I mean, they could have put men in there and it still would have sucked as bad as it does. When it comes down to it, the reason why this movie sucked is because of the director, Paul Feig. He's the guy who made all the decisions, he's the guy who helped write the thing, and he's the guy who came out there and started calling critics misogynists for saying, "Hey Paul, I think your movie's a bit shit." You know, it's not a fucking sexist thing. The movie was just bad, you know? It wasn't even the worst movie ever, it just wasn't good. So if you're a feminist and you got a blog and you want to write some shit about men, I just gave you one more to blame, so why don't you hate on Paul Feig instead of the people who just want to see a good Ghostbusters film? Thanks for watching, guys. My name's Lewis Spears. I do a new LewReview every single week, so subscribe for the next one, and I'll catch you later, cunt.
Who you gonna call?
Not those cunts.
Sorry,